So this is our puppy. Her name's Lucy. A couple people said I should make a video about her, so I figured we can talk a little bit about her. So she's an English Springer Spaniel. So she's a couple months old here, so she's got plenty of energy. So she likes running around the farm. Right now we're working on hooking up our cattle trailer, if you're wondering what we're doing here. But she likes running around the farm a lot, so she also rides in the tractor quite a bit. Here you'll see a couple videos. She likes to ride and take big naps because she uses so much energy apparently running around the farm. So if I say, oh, Lucy's with us today, so we're just talking about her. So yeah, today we're out working on planting rye. So what we do for our rye is we plant winter rye, so that way we're planting in the fall here, and then that way we can chop it right around the same time we do a first crop next year, and then we're still able to pour corn silage on this stuff in the spring. So we're working on that right now. I got Lucy, the new puppy here, who's chewing on duct tape. I just realized that's great. We'll figure that out. But yeah, this field right here. So we chopped that part of so this was split in two halves. The corn stalks, you can see that's stuff we chopped. We did rye on that side, and then we planted corn on top of that. We chopped that earlier this year. Then this part was the people that were renting it from. They had beans here. And so this year, instead of splitting in two fields, we're just gonna do it all in one field. So we're gonna plant all this rye, and then we're gonna have it chopped, and we'll put corn on here next year. So we're gonna work on planting this field, and we're gonna do one field behind the buildings, and then we got one more field down by the river that we're gonna do. So we'll see how much this we get done today and stuff. So see how bored she gets here. So if you're wondering what this box is here, so this is gonna be actually a planter monitor that we just got from a farm down the road that had one laying around when they used to have it. They bought it off of a new planter they said that they got. So what we're doing, it's not hooked up right now, but basically what this will be able to do is kind of tell us how much we're actually planting per acre and stuff, and then like be able to help know when we're actually out of seed instead of having to go back there and check every like 3 rounds once you're getting kind of close to being out. So it's kind of something we can work on setting up next year probably, because we want to just get this right planted, because it's supposed to be a lot of rain coming here, so you want to just get this in the ground. That way it's done and we don't have to worry about trying to come back later, because the sooner you get in the ground the better. So that way we can just be done with field work for a while, because it's kind of the main thing, that last main thing we gotta do. Besides, like, we might potentially try doing a marsh. It kind of depends. We've had time where it's dry now here, and we've just been busy doing other things. So I guess that's like the one main thing besides this that has to get done. Otherwise, field work's kind of winding down here for us. She already fell asleep. It's been one pass. Oh no, never mind. What we're using for rye here is stuff that a neighbor of ours combined. So they wanted just straw from rye, so we bought the seed from them, since there's not really anywhere around here that takes rye seed. And so this is nice because it was cheaper and stuff. But the main problem that we're having is that there's stuff that got inside the seed when it went through the combine and stuff. So there's like straw mixed in with some of the seed, which normally isn't that big of a deal, except for the fact that it keeps plugging this up. Like, what I mean, keeps plugging up like every round so far. I've had to get out and unplug this. So normally what we're gonna have to probably end up doing here is just, there's a clip on the back side here, and then we can drop this off, and normally it's like plugged right here. So it's not plugged up there like this time, it gets plugged up somewhere down in here. So it's just kind of like all the straw, like stuff like that right there, that gets plugged in here. So it's just enough where it slows the seed down and gets plugged up. So it goes from down this tube here that goes from the seeder into this pipe, so it got plugged in here. So it's just kind of getting a little annoying, but you know, it's gotta deal with the farming sometimes. So we're gonna keep trying to go here and see how many times I have to stop here to finish this field. Let this work a little bit better now. I slowed down a little bit, and I think it's just some of the stuff starting to feed out of there a little bit. So got that working a little bit better, so I haven't had to stop for a while here, but I'm just picking up this rock, because coming through here next spring and we hit that with the mower, that'll knock a few knives dull for sure, at least. So figure save ourselves the hassle here in a little bit. So we're about half done with this field here, so we'll see how much. I think I should have enough seed to hopefully do all this, so I don't have to drive all the way home and come back here. So see how much longer this takes us here. up right now. So basically what we got is a gravity wagon full of rye seed, and then we got a auger here to fill into it. And over here we got quite the operation. So we had a farm that had some extra corn that was really wet that they didn't really want to take the time because it was going to be so wet. So we got our grinder back out because we didn't put that away. And so they're working on emptying this out of the semi into an auger, and then they're filling the gravity wagon, and then they bring the gravity wagon over by the grinder. So they're switching the gravity wagons out. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. I haven't actually walked over there. I just want to think they're doing. I just got back going here again, the field that we call the field behind the buildings, because as the name implies, the lights of the barn, new barn, are right there. That's the cow barn that we have, and then the rest of the farm's just over hill. So if it was actually light out, you'd be able to see all this. But yeah, so that way, if I ever say the field behind the buildings, this is the field I'm talking about. I tend to say that a lot, and then I forget that you guys don't always know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about stuff like that. So we'll just try to teach you some of these fields that we got here. Did with this after we got the bales all baled from all the corn stalks. What we did is we covered it all with manure out of the pit, and then my dad yesterday, he worked all this so that way the manure somewhat worked in. We busted some of the corn stalks down here. So that's what we do for the tillage here for the rye stuff. We do a little bit more for everything else, so what we'll probably end up doing is going and working some of these other fields with at least the finisher for sure. And then we like to go with our inline rip, but that goes pretty deep, so that way we can go in the compaction spots like the headlands and stuff. And normally we also do just the whole field. It really helps because that's kind of something we've noticed is where there's a lot of compaction, we really struggle with the corn. So that's something we're trying to do, so that way we have the best yields as possible. You just try to do a really good tile, so that way you don't have water standing, and then make sure you have all your compaction out of the ground as much as you possibly can. That seems to be the two things that we really struggle with the most. Almost done with this field here, and so since I was getting a little bit bored, I'd like to mention that if you guys want to see some other things like on the farm that are like maybe kind of backscene or just stuff I don't cover on the YouTube channel, if you guys would like to, you can look up Neverest Dairy on Facebook, and my mom posts some stuff every once in a while that is pretty cool, and that just another way to support us on the farm here. Just got finished up with this piece here, so we calling it good for the night here. We got 10 acres that we got to do, 10 acres-ish, to do tomorrow. So we're going to work on filling out the grain drill quick tonight, so that way everything's good to go for tomorrow quick, so we can get that done real quick. So I think Lucy slept like 95% of the time that we were out here tonight, so at least she enjoyed herself resting up and everything, because I guess real hard work to be a puppy. So it's the next day down here, so my dad worked on planting that last field earlier here today, so now we just gotta work on getting all the other stuff, all the extra seed that was in here out of here. So this kind of shows you what we're kind of struggling with yesterday, all this extra stuff that's not really supposed to be in the seed. So that was what we were dealing with yesterday. So we got a little small shop vac here. We're gonna use that to kind of work on sucking this up, so that way we can get this all cleaned up and ready to go for next year when we use it for something.